leather gloves, we're slapping in hams, popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands, pink cotton candy, love on a stick, who's chasing the beer, that circle the lips, play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
And here we are, Laughter Saves Live.
Lives.
Laughter Saves Lives.
Live. Brought to you by Barasch and McGarry. The 9/11 lawyers for the 9/11 community.
You got it. Look at that.
Look
Can
at
we
that,
pop
huh?
them up real quick?
Yeah, real quick.
No. Okay.
Nope, it's coming. He's got it.
If you notice, John LaRocchi is not here tonight. Up there they are, Barasch and McGarry.
There they are.
Fantastic. And John LaRocchi is not here.
He is
tonight.
not. He's not.
He has a personal matter he needed to attend.
I heard it was a UTI.
It was a rash that was clearing.
A rash.
That had to clear up by showtime, and it didn't.
It did not. No.
So I'm Rich Walker, and this is
Roseanne Sorrentino.
Yes, and we are double co-hosting.
We are
today,
co-hosting,
and we're gonna have fun. We got some great guests. This is a very fun-packed show.
This is a good one.
It's like actually we have like 3 big entertainers joining us. We have Kareth Foster, Michael Gutenplan, and Dwayne White. I had to look because it's Dwayne. D-E-W-A,
yes.
Dwayne, a comedian from DC.
It's very exciting.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight.
We are. I'm excited to be here. I'm usually in for you because you're usually the one with the rash.
Yes, thank you. But it did clear up. So we were talking right before we went on. Are you getting ready for Halloween, by the way?
Well, I kind of did Halloween already. I went to a Halloween party this weekend. I got all my Halloween on. I'm good. I will not be home for Halloween.
Oh, what are you doing? First of all, when this show airs,
Halloween will be over.
Oh, wait a minute. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because
that's okay.
It's good. What did you dress up as?
I was a flapper.
Oh, yeah.
I was Zelda Fitzgerald.
Is there a particular flapper? Who is she from? The Great Gatsby?
The Great Gatsby.
Look at that. All right. And how did it go over? Good. Did you win any prizes?
No, it was my sister's house. So it was fixed. I wasn't going to win.
If it was your house, you would have won.
Oh, I would have won first place. 100%. 100%.
What was the best costume at that party?
Honestly,
what's the big thing this year?
The best costume was probably my sister's. She was Wednesday Addams.
Oh, that's...
And she looked... fantastic.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, really good.
Did you post pictures of the party?
Of course I did.
Well, there you go.
I'm the social media queen.
Go to Roseanne's page on Facebook and
see all the pics.
Yeah. I you know what I did? It was really weird this weekend. I had like 2 hours. I went on Netflix for the, 30 days of Halloween or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I caught up on some movies. You know what I watched? I never seen Blair Witch Project.
Never saw it.
Did you ever see it?
No.
It's so old, the movie, but it's about three college kids that go off into the woods looking for a murdering witch who murders teenagers. And they have no fear whatsoever. But
I would not do that.
No, I have a problem with that because I can't even walk my garbage pails down to the curb without making a mad dash back to the house. So, you should see me running up like, someone's in the bush. But listen to this. This is what amazing is. They're in the woods. They're in their tent. They hear children screaming in the background. Children. And how do they solve the problem?
They go looking for it.
No, they all go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
How is this even believable when people believe that it was all live and going on
that wasn't.
back then? Yeah. And then they wake up the next day. Last thing I'm going to say. And outside their tent door is a pyramid of rocks all set up in perfect rock formation.
Oh.
If that was me and I woke up and saw that, there'd be a pyramid of rocks in my pants. Ridiculous. I don't know. So anyway, yes.
But see now, I don't know if that was true, if that was staged, whatever, but I listen to true crime podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Like about real murders.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
And and the worst time to listen to those is when I go out for my 4-mile walk.
Yeah.
Because then I walk past a bunch of bushes or whatever, and I have my AirPods in, and I'm always like looking behind me because
Yeah.
Like, why do I do this to myself? And then I go to bed at night and I hear noises and I'm like, oh my God, it's the BTK killer.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you flip out if the oil burner clicks on.
Yes.
What the heck was that? Yeah.
Yeah. So true crime is just as scary, if not scarier, because you know what? I could have passed a murderer on my way here tonight. You don't know.
Listen, these days.
The guy who gave me my coffee, 7-Eleven, he could have been a murderer.
Yeah. Because he kept one hand behind the counter. You couldn't see what was in it.
He did. I couldn't. It was very scary.
So we were talking about, right before we went on the air, we had an interesting thing we were talking about.
We did.
I asked her, because we were talking about auditioning in the city for Broadway and stuff, and you put in a few auditions.
I did.
So she's available.
I am.
If there's any big producers out there.
Use me.
Yeah. What is the big part you want to play? Do you ever have aspirations for any parts you want to play?
Yes, but I don't know if it'll ever happen. I really want to play Roxy Hart in Chicago.
Right. That's the young 20-year-old girl that.
And then,
what
see,
else
I'm at the age.
Interest in?
She's not 20, but that's why I'll never play it. Thanks, Rich. Jerk.
Yes.
I'm at the age now where I can't put in for the really good roles. I either have to play the comedic
mom.
Sorry,
but that's
I know.
That's
or the freaking grandma. God forbid, kill me now.
Yeah,
if that has to happen.
You know what would be a good part for you?
That's why I need plastic surgery. If I lift, I figure if I lift it all up, right, then I'll be in my 20s again.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
What would be the perfect part for me?
Diane Cannon's role in Death Trap.
I didn't see it.
I
didn't see it.
I don't know who's out there if they've ever seen it. So I asked you to write down your 5 top 10 Broadway musicals.
My 5 top 10?
Top 5 Broadway musicals.
I did, and I did it. And I did it quickly.
John. I hope he just walks in 5 minutes. Okay, so I wrote down my 5. We're going to compare notes. Right. Top 5 Broadway musicals.
In no particular order.
And this is for us, not in
this is what
ticket sales.
This is what I think.
Right. Okay.
In no particular order.
Right.
First one.
Yeah.
A Chorus Line.
Oh, that's up there. Yeah. La Cage aux Folles.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. What's your number 2?
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. I only saw the movie. I have to go with Book of Mormon.
Oh, very good. Yeah, Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
This is kind of a gimme.
Yeah.
Annie.
Oh, see, I had Annie, but I
crossed it out. Thanks a lot. Oh my God.
I did that as a joke. I scribbled out Annie right there.
That's very nice. Very nice.
All right, number 3 for me, Legally Blonde.
I've never seen it performed on stage.
Oh my God. They do something where it's like all windows and all the girls are at the windows and the doors are popping open everywhere. It's great.
Very Bye Bye Birdie.
Yeah.
I put Wicked.
Wicked, yes.
I do.
I told you, tell them why I didn't care for Wicked. I liked Wicked. It was okay. But
it was the screeching of the Defying Gravity song.
Yeah, that song and that Izette Melendez or whoever she is. Idina Menzel. What's her name?
Yeah.
Mendel?
Mendel.
Oh, okay. So, it's just too much for me. I like pop.
You know what? Can I change my last one?
Which is back.
Can I change my last one? No, we're fine.
He's right there.
I know.
Right here. Yes. So for our viewers or for new viewers who've seen you before, Rich, but who've not seen Roseanne, why don't you let people know who you are and what you did and why, of course, you wrote down Annie.
Why I was so insulted that he crossed off Annie.
Right.
Because I was Annie.
She not only did she portray Annie
in the 3rd National Tour,
in touring company of Annie, but also even I'm not going to say bigger, major motion picture. She was Pepper in the movie Annie with Cal Burnett, Albert Finney, Anne Rankin.
I was the mean orphan.
She's the one, as I say it all the time, is how about a knuckle sandwich? Yes, I can't even believe sometimes I'm sitting next to her.
It's true.
So just say, okay, number 4 for me.
Yeah, that's a good one. I loved that show. I can't believe I didn't put that down.
Really? What'd you put?
4, I said Wicked.
Oh, Wicked.
And 5 for me, I changed it because first I put Beauty and the Beast because that's like sentimental because that's the first musical I took my daughter to see.
Right.
But then I realized Funny Girl.
Oh, the one on Broadway now? You saw it?
I did with Michelle. With Michelle what's her face?
Michelle,
Leah Michelle.
She's a big star now. Yeah. And now, because I heard that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
is she still in it?
She's not in it anymore.
I don't get it.
She
Why
was
do
great.
These shows get so big, they win the Tony Award, and then they're not in it anymore. Shouldn't they be in it for like Yul Brynner for the full?
Well, no, because if you want the people to go see it, you have to get a nobody into the part so that you can lower the ticket prices, because you could not sustain paying the ticket prices to see Leah Michelle. It was ridiculous.
So what does she do now? She sits home and watches.
She counts her money.
That's ridiculous. Let me tell you.
I would do that.
Give me the part on Broadway. I will stick through it.
Oh my God.
As long as I can.
You'd have to throw me out the door.
Yeah. I don't get it.
I didn't want to quit Annie. They made me quit after a year and a half.
You outgrew the part.
I had boobs.
They had to strap them down or tape them down.
Yeah.
I hear you. What about something rotten? She's being silly, of course.
Of course I am.
No, I'm only kidding. Maybe it's this. It's thermal. What about something rotten? Did you see something?
I didn't see that.
These are incredible. These are ones you walk out of the theater and you can't get the show out of your head.
I know. And now all these other shows are coming to my head.
Can I do one? I can't believe neither of you mentioned it.
Sure.
Rent.
That's one. I didn't care for Rent. It was depressing.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the theater.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to the theater and think and be sad.
Yeah.
I want to be uplifted.
Yeah.
It's uplifting at times.
It's a good show, but
and that
Fiddler on the Roof.
What's the big song? 900,000,
7,046, 592.
595,600 minutes. Do you know what it is? 595,600 minutes. 545,000. 545,600 minutes is a year.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how you felt after you left at the end of the show. Like you've been there for
you guys
remember the show.
Nobody mentioned Fiddler on the Roof. I mean, that was a great one too.
Great. Gateway Playhouse is doing that coming up in February. Listen, did you ever see 700 Sundays? The one with Billy Crystal?
No, my mom told she loved it.
Let me tell you, they named it 700 Sundays because you felt like you were sitting there for 700 Sundays. That's how long that show was.
Do you know what a great show was?
What?
Brighton Beach Memoirs.
Great.
Oh my God. Any of his
and Broadway Bound.
I saw it with Matthew Broderick.
Wow.
And I met him afterwards because it was in the Annie Theater on Broadway, so I still had some connections. And he's so shy.
Oh,
he was so shy.
Yeah. I met him and his wife on the street in New York City.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, and I stopped them as they were crossing the street, and I go, I just want to say, and they stopped and they talked with me for like 5 minutes. It was so nice, both of them. And she doesn't have a good reputation out there.
No, well, she's very aloof,
no,
but I think she's very friendly. I actually found a picture of me with her not too long ago. We, when I say we, I mean me, her, Andrea McCardle, and Allison Smith or Kirk. Yeah. One of the Annies. We were all bridesmaids in Billy Berloni, the dog trainer's first wedding.
Wow. I never saw
that. McCardle was the reason why I now like redheads.
Wow. Look at that.
See? Look at that.
I saw her in Annie and I was like 12 years old, and I was hubba. That was it.
Oh, she was a beautiful kid. Only second to this one.
Of course.
This was the best.
Are we?
True.
We're ready, I believe, for our first break.
Yeah, and we're going to be back with our first guest. So we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I work downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
And we're
We're
back
back.
with Laughter Saves Lives
Live.
right here in Massapequa at our
Beautiful Massapequa.
yes, beautiful downtown Massapequa at our favorite Paradise Studios. right here.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
we're back now. We have a guest coming on right now.
Uh-huh.
Now this is going to be a lot of fun for me because I haven't seen her, maybe 20 years. She's a comedian, a speaker. She's on television, and I had to write it all down. There's too much.
Yeah,
She's a
entrepreneur,
TV,
author.
radio personality, actress.
Wow.
Yeah, she even started her own foundation, charity foundation. We're going to talk all about that. But let's bring her on. Let's bring on Kareth Foster. There she is.
There.
How are you?
What an introduction. Are you kidding? I'm honored to be with you guys.
No, I haven't seen. How long has it been? I don't even know.
It's been years. It's been years.
It feels like 15 maybe years.
Probably 15. Probably closer to 15.
So you've been a busy young lady out there.
I have. I've been so fortunate. You know, I like to say I married my passion and my purpose.
Yeah.
And so while I'm not doing stand-up full time, what I have been able to do is incorporate humor into the programming that I do. And I call what I do inversity. And I came up with that name because the word diversity, D-I-V, like think of all the words that start with that. Divide, division, divorce, right? And so people are saying, we need all this diversity programming to bring the world together. And then we're shocked that it's not working. So
Right.
I decided to flip the script a little bit and say, okay, let's acknowledge all the amazing things that we are, but let's shift the focus from what separates and divides us to what it is we have in common, how we can be inclusive of one another, but most importantly and powerfully, being introspective, understand your value and worth so you can then see it in somebody else. And let's have fun while we're doing it.
That's incredible.
I
And
love
what is
that.
the name of the foundation? Tell us a little bit about
So FRAME is the Foster Russell Alliance for Meaningful Expression.
Right.
And the first two names come from myself and my husband. I got married since you see me last, had a couple kids. And the idea behind FRAME is to help us reframe issues like free speech. You know, free speech is really important. And I think people want to label it as a straight conservative white guy thing when it's an everybody thing. It's not partisan. It's something that everybody needs to understand that we're, as Americans, are very, very fortunate to have because there are a lot of countries who don't.
Right.
And we take it for granted. And I think we also misunderstand that if we don't have free speech, we can't have things like civil rights movements and people being able to speak out on platforms. And that doesn't mean you condone hate speech, but it means you use better speech to fight the bad speech.
I agree. 1000%. That's fantastic.
I was just going to say that. What about when people take the the stand, well, I have free speech. I can say whatever I want, but what they're saying is just awful. So you said, you need to use free speech to combat that, which is an important point to make, because people sort of hide behind, well, I have free speech. I could say whatever I want, no matter who it hurts or offends or.
You're always going to have those people. You're always going to have the extremists, the people that want to push the buttons and cross the line. And I'm okay with crossing the line. I mean, that's what comedians do, right? I mean, if we didn't, like, as a comedian, especially, like, we have to believe in free speech. Otherwise, we don't get to do our jobs.
But just like in real life, stand-up comedy, and I tell people this all the time, this is my belief. I cannot do a bit where, and I don't know if I'm getting off track here, but I can't do a bit if one person walks out of that theater feeling bad about something I just said, whether you're talking about disease or a child, with a disability or any disability whatsoever. I can't have it. I can't. If one person, there's a lot of comics that just don't care. I'm doing my act the way I wrote it, but there's some people hurt.
I hear you. And I understand, because you're such an empathetic, kind, loving man. Like, I totally get where you're coming from, but you also are not responsible for anybody else's feelings. They're responsible for their own feelings. Just like you can't say so-and-so made me do this, made me feel this way. No, you let yourself feel this way. And so a lot of the work that I do is also about personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Because within that is empowerment, because that means that nobody has the ability to control you, to make you feel bad about yourself or ashamed of who you are or what you believe in. It's how much you allow that to happen. And, this is why it's so important that we do have the ability to communicate effectively and empathetically and compassionately with one another.
Well, but then you would have to talk in a way that is not, I can't hurt somebody. Like, it's just,
Well, there's a difference between hurting somebody deliberately, and you are an experienced comedian, and you know how to craft a joke.
That's right.
In a way that, if you're in a comedy club and you're there to be offended, you probably shouldn't be in a comedy club.
You're right. I guess you're right. But I do a whole bit on Jesus, but things about him you didn't know, a teenager Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I still do get people coming up, they go, you were wonderful, but you don't need to do that whole thing on Jesus.
And that's their opinion.
And that's their opinion. But I've redesigned the joke to where it's almost impossible to be offended. I do it in churches. I've done it in front of priests, and they love it. They laugh. It's a humorous thing. It's not saying anything really bad.
No.
But am I completely off subject here?
No. You go off subject on the show, really? I mean, I think this is perfect stream of consciousness. Like, this is an organic conversation, and it's beautiful.
Carrie, let me ask you, since COVID and everything, I noticed that your empowerment through education and mentorship, how much of your work is done with the young people today? Because I recently retired. I was a middle school assistant principal, and I found exactly, what you're talking about is you with parents and with children, everything you say is under a microscope and dissected and pulled apart and twisted and turned. And so how much of your work is done with children to make them understand that they're responsible for their own feelings and how they handle things?
Well, the majority of my work with children is with my own, because I'm working on the adults right now. I was trying to go into colleges and universities, and I still do. I just actually saw an invitation to speak at a major university in California, and I lecture annually at Stanford Graduate School of Business. I was in 2 documentaries, Richie. One was called Can We Take a Joke?, which is on Netflix.
Interesting.
Comedians don't really want to perform in colleges anymore because everybody is looking to be offended. And my husband jokingly says, my husband's Australian, by the way, so no filter. And he's like, well, if I made that movie, it'd be the shortest film ever because, can we take a joke? No, 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 no. That's just what the film would be. People say no. And then I was also in No Safe Spaces with Adam Carolla and Dennis Prager, also a free speech issue. And I got to contribute to this wonderful book called The Coddling of the American Mind. And it began as an article in the Atlantic. It was one of the most widely read Atlantic articles that was. And then it became a New York Times bestseller by my friends Jonathan Haidt, who's an NYU psychology professor. You may have seen him in The Social Dilemma. And then CEO and president of FIRE, the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression. And I'm on that advisory board. And what they discuss in the book is what you were just saying, is how fragile people are right now. And that's not, we aren't, yet we're teaching people that they are. And that takes away their power, right? So it's like the people that get mad at the Jesus joke, are they really mad at the Jesus joke? Or are they upset because maybe they don't understand it and you've offended their sensibilities? They think you're mocking their religion versus what you're actually doing. Because there is nothing mean or cruel about you. And I mean, I worked with Patrice O'Neill before he passed away, and Tim Davis, from Stand Up New York from ages ago. And one of the things that they both would say, if you go up on stage angry, like really mad about something, really with a, like fire to burn, the audience isn't going to laugh because it's you needing therapy and you being angry. That scares the heck out of people. But if you go up there and you can have the energy behind it, but not the emotion, people get the joke, right?
Right.
Because it's so universal, hurt and pain and the nonsense. I mean, that's why I think comedy is so important, especially when we're talking about things around diversity, because it's about pointing out the absurd. What is more absurd than hating someone because of their religion or their skin color or their sexuality or their, you know what I mean?
Right. Of course.
Yes. And I think that people are they just are walking around waiting to be offended now. And nobody can laugh at themselves anymore. And, myself, my whole comedy act is about basically laughing at my ridiculous life, and I make a joke and, and some lady was like, oh, you don't really mean that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of do, it's a joke, lady.
Right. It's humor. It's a joke. And there's so much power in healing that comes with laughter. And I think, we all know Sharon Rothberg, and she, with her comedy cures, and of course, what John is doing, laughter saves lives. Like, this is about helping people heal. This is about catharsis, right? Because life is hard.
Amen. Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Wow. What else have you been up to before we let you go? What do you want to share with us? Do you have a website or
I do. My website is called Inversity Solutions. You can also go to Kareth.com. But I have exciting news. I was featured in a New York Times article. I was on the business section of the cover of the business section back on Mother's Day weekend.
Wow.
And I highlighted the work that I'm doing because I really am not doing DEI stuff the traditional way. I'm kind of bucking the system.
Yeah.
There's a lot that needs to be corrected because I think while people's hearts are in the right place, a lot of the way they've been doing things has actually been toxic and causing more polarization.
Yeah.
We should not be making victims and villains out of anyone. That's not fair. And it robs all of us of our agency. So I've been doing that work in Diversity Solutions, and I just received an offer from a publisher for a book deal.
Good for you.
My first book, though, is called You Can Be Perfect or You Can Be Happy, which, again, ties into the personal responsibility aspect, meaning there's no such thing as perfection, so we should stop trying to strive for it.
Right.
Strive for excellence, not perfection. But happiness is a choice. It's as individual as we are, but it's a choice. And the caveat is it's not a constant. So if we can get to that place where we can live in that space and understand that we're responsible for our happiness and the choices we make and how we receive other people and the actions and words we use, then then that's empowering. And we are all such amazing, just creatures that have been divinely put here for a reason and a purpose.
Amen to that. Yeah.
I just want to say I love everything that you just said, and I applaud you for working in colleges and stuff. I hope that you start to go into middle schools, because honestly, I think you could affect a lot of positive change while they still are developing and forming, because these kids, they only know what they're seeing on their phones or on the internet, or what they're hearing in their homes. And I think that your message is an excellent, very powerful message that younger people need to understand, because I always used to say to my students, who's in control of you?
Wow.
I always said that to them. And I told them, don't give your control away by getting mad at things that you have no power over.
We could talk all night.
I love you guys. And I you don't know any idea. Like, I'm such a fangirl, knowing that I'm talking to Pepper, like the OG Pepper.
Unbelievable. I can't even believe it myself. But thank you so much for coming on. We wish you all out there. You have a great view of life. It's fantastic. And thank you again.
Great, so bright and so positive. So go out there and fight the good fight. And thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night.
You have a good night. All right. We got to go to a quick break from Life Hack, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child. As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives live. All right, we're going to keep our show going tonight, because we have someone very interesting coming on.
I'm very excited for this.
A mentalist. I guess maybe for Halloween, but he may be insulted to hear that.
I mean, I'm mental, but he's a mentalist.
Yeah,
so.
I just read his quick credits. He's been on Broadway. He's played for politicians and royalty, which I'm curious about that. And what's really interesting, he's been banned from casinos for sharing their secrets. Let's bring on Michael Gutenplan. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
I'm coming to you from Los Angeles, California, but I am a Strong Island boy myself. I grew up in Roslyn. My father and his family were from East Meadow. I spent 5 years of college. What's that?
I went to East Meadow High School.
About the same age. You might know one of them.
I spent every weekend in East Meadow with my grandparents. So look at that, the East Meadow connection. Look at that.
I
took 5 years to get rid of this accent, and it's slowly coming back over the course of this hour. So
yeah. So tell us, what do you want? What did you come on and talk about today? This is so interesting for us.
I'm a third generation psychic. My father and my grandfather believe in ESP. They don't do shows or anything, but I'm a professional mentalist. I do mind reading shows for corporate events. I always say my clientele is the 1% of the 1%. Corporations, CEOs. I've done Russian oligarchs. I've done the Saudi royal family out in Los Angeles. They have a whole compound. You'd be surprised how much money is out there and how much they want to give to entertainers. Very small portion of that.
That's so true. That they could be billionaires and they go, "Here's $20.
It's a mentalist.
Take this for yourself."
I'll tell you, I did a show for a very, 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 very big producer in Hollywood. During COVID, he had me come to his house. I was in the backyard, and at the end of it, I get a phone call. I go home. I get a phone call from your assistant, and she goes, "He wants to pay you more. He doesn't think you charged enough." I said, I like this guy. Would you like to hire me again next week?
Wow.
Yeah.
But no, I found myself in this very unique world. They do a lot of country clubs. So that's kind of my bread and butter, which led me to CEOs, which led me to, you should meet this guy. And I kind of got caught in this 1% world. And I can't get booked in my hometown. I can't get booked out of this 1% world. And what I realized is all of my marketing material was geared towards that. It's a very specific video. It's very specific towards that world.
Yeah.
So I'm investing in myself. I am booking the Magic Castle in Los Angeles. I'm buying it out for a day. I'm bringing in a whole camera crew. And instead of just filming a video of me doing my act, all these people say, when can we see you? When can we see you? Well, you know what? Come on, my treat. Free show in Los Angeles at the Magic Castle. And I'm going to give these people the most incredible experience of their lives. And I get out of it a new promo reel.
That is fantastic.
Now, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So like, just tell us a little bit about when you perform and stuff and you do this, what kinds of things do you do? How does it go?
Is it through comedy?
Yes. So it is a real mind reading show.
Right.
That is fun. I don't come out dressed in black and read. Oh, I wear glitter covered Louboutin shoes. I wear a glitter suit. I'm jumping up and down like an idiot because I'm having a great time. I mean, it's as close to. I want you to imagine if Little Richard, Liberace, Elvis, and Elton John did a mind reading show as one person. You get me. That's the energy level we're going with.
How fun is that?
And it's real.
I have to see you.
Yeah.
It's a very fun experience. You know, Roseanne, you were asking, what do I do? We do predictions. I do a blindfold act where I know what people are thinking. We do body language reading. So the show starts from the real, which is body language tells how do psychics kind of do their work. And I can demonstrate that in a second. And then kind of goes, once I get a hold of the audience, we can do anything. So then we're doing predictions and, you know, incredible things with the mind. But I'll give you an example. I talked in my show about cold reading. So a cold reading is what a psychic does when you walk in their office, right? They look at you, they look at what you're wearing, they look at how your hair is, they ask you a couple questions, and boom, they are telling you things. There's no way they could know this, right? I don't embarrass. I heard you talking a moment ago, Rich. I despise people who embarrass people on stage. You know, that person comes up there, they're the star of the show. So in my show, you come on stage. I don't make it too personal, but people want to know, what can you be revealed? So we'll work with Roseanne. And the reason is because I can tell a lot more about you than I can tell about Rich.
Right.
Your outfit right now is giving me major mom vibes, not in a bad way. But I'm just gonna say, and we've never met before, so everybody watching this is going, he knows.
You haven't even seen her jeans.
I didn't know you were there. I thought it was gonna be someone else on the screen. So that's how risky this is. So I'm gonna say that you probably have two kids. Because when I said kids, you shook your head. That was the cue, because you would have went one. So these little cues are giving me what I'm getting. Based on your very calm complexion, I'm going to say daughters, not boys. Daughters create a connection. You lit up when I talked to it just now. You gave it away with that smile. That was a yes. You didn't even have to shake your head. You have two daughters?
Yes.
Okay. And I heard in the previous segment you worked at a middle school. So I have a feeling you refer to these as your kids or my kids. And then all of the students were your kids, something like that. You probably have a different way to put it between the two. Can you just hold up your hands like that? You don't need to come too close to the camera because I can see from here. I'm going to say Capricorn.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So that's,
Wow.
Towards the end of it? Towards the end?
The middle. Well,
the middle.
What is Capricorn until?
You said the middle. You just gave it away. It's either 14, 15, 16. I just said that. You should. I don't know if anybody saw that. The eye went up a little bit. 15th, January 15th.
Yeah, the 15th.
Should we go for the year, or you want to keep that a little something?
Go for the year.
Right, because we really want to know.
So you were in Annie. That was early 80s. and you're in the third national tour, correct?
Correct.
I'm a Broadway person. I used to do all those reviews, and
Wow.
that means in the 70s were your formative years, because you said that you got I'm going to say boobed out. So that means you were probably 12, 13, 14 years old in the early 80s. You go back a little bit, that means in 70 you're about 3, I'm going to say 68.
Correct.
Amaze
Wow.
myself sometimes.
Really do.
And I don't think people should know too much about their future. But before we came on, and you didn't give me any hints, we met for a brief second, just to show me that the hosts weren't the host I was expecting. And you had just asked one question. You wanted me to talk about a new venture. You want to know, how's it going to go? And we're going to get out the old crystal ball, and I'm just going to trust my instincts, because that's what this is: instincts, intuition. And we don't talk to the dead or anything. I don't know if it comes through on the camera, but I am seeing 1,000 faces, 1,000 smiles looking at you. This is very interesting. Women, 1,000 women looking at you, saying thank you, shaking their heads yes. And they're one of them is saying thank you for the first time I feel myself. Is any of this making sense to you? I don't
Actually, yes, it is very much.
Are any of them asking for their money back?
Shut up. No.
There is a pyramid. There is a pyramid in here. They're in like a.
It's great.
They're in a pyramid. I don't know. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of people.
Wow.
They're smiling. They're happy.
Oh, okay. That's all.
And they have a lot of stuff in the garage. I don't know what's happening here.
Great job, Michael.
That's fantastic.
You are.
So that's what the show is. It's fun. It's interesting. Yeah. A magician does something, and you go, fun trick. A mind reader, a psychic entertainer gets up there, and you go, how the hell did you know that? It's that little difference that I call it. It's a little bit more mature entertainment. It's fun. It's exciting, and I love it. I love unlocking people's psychic potential, giving them true experiences, and there is that fun element that it's a family tradition of ESP that direct from East Meadow all the way to Los Angeles with a brief stop in Roslyn. I'm keeping this alive. This idea that we are more than just ourselves. We are our psychic powers. We are connected in a way.
No. Go ahead.
Do you just love it when you get like a real skeptical person, and then you just like blow their mind?
That's a great question. And I'll say this. At the beginning of a lot of my shows, you get this. I don't buy any of this. Right? They're not hecklers. They're not causing a problem. They're just sitting with their arms crossed going, the more money you have, the more skeptical you are. Give me a break. This guy's by the end of the show, I have one goal. Not to convince you, not to make you a believer. Did you have a good time? Well, yeah. Well, did you see unbelievable things? Because remember, the two of you are the ones that come up on the stage. I'm the conduit. I'm the person making it happen. But it's the audience and they go, yeah, I go, great, mission accomplished. It doesn't matter what you believe. My job is to entertain you in this act.
Right.
It's not to make you join my cult. Now, if they are a team player, they will give me their social and mother's maiden name. But other than
Michael, I can't wait to see you, but I think I have to join the 1%.
Magic Castle.
No,
that's the whole point of this thing. I realized I couldn't see myself. I realized I couldn't afford my own show. So the whole idea of doing this promo video, getting new marketing material out there, is to do things like theaters, is to do more local events, so that a corporation that's not a Fortune 500, a country club that has regular people in it, they should be able to afford. They should be able to have me. And it's not that they can't afford me. It's not that they can't afford me. It's that they assume they can't because the material is geared towards one group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out this new stuff and say, book me at your theater, book me at your casino or your hotel, because it blows people. Why not have an incredible experience? Life is too short to wait for something.
It was just this was just incredible what you did. When is that show in?
At the Magic
November 8th.
House.
November 8th. The easiest way to, if you're in Los Angeles watching this, maybe, I don't know, maybe you got kids there, you want to tell them, go on my website. It's www.mentalist.show. Mentalist.show. There's a contact form. Send me information. Say, hey, here's my name. Here's my email. I'd love to come see your show. If you can't get on my website, go on Instagram. I'm under Amazing Mentalist. If you type in Amazing Men, I come up first.
Gotcha. Michael, you're fantastic. Did you have anything else you want to add before we got to let you go? We have one more.
I'm sending my love to everybody on Long Island. I miss it. I miss everything. The bagels, the pizza, the attitudes. I miss it all. Give me some clams,
We'd love to have you back very soon. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. I'm going to follow you on Instagram.
Everybody. Yes. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be right back with our comedian tonight. Yes.
Zwanger Passeri has been delivering a true patient-centric experience for the past 70 years. You can always expect to be cared for with compassion, scanned on the latest technology, and a highly trained subspecialized radiologist to interpret your images.
That's
all right.
We're back.
Laughter Saves Lives live. And we're going to bring on, we don't want to waste any more time because we're going to bring out and close our show out with a very, very funny comedian. He's based out of D.C. He was also an instructor for the Armed Forces called, I believe, Comedy Boot Camp. Let's bring up Dwayne White.
What's up? What's up, guys? Rich, can I do you real fast? I think your name is Rich. That's all I got. That's all I can do. I don't know.
Wow,
very good.
By the way, she said earlier that she made fun of your boobs. You have great boobs, Rich. I don't know if we can.
Thank you.
I just want to say that, dude. You don't have to take that.
That's great. So real quick, before we get into the comedy, I understand you're doing a show in DC with John LaRocchia.
We are on the 16th of November. We're doing one down here at Busboys and Poets in DC. It's going to benefit, make sure I say it right. It's benefiting the DC Fire and EMS Foundation.
Yeah, Bobby, do we have that flyer that you could put up? The November 8th DC flyer?
It has prices on it, sir.
Okay, sorry.
All right, no worries.
It's a gorgeous flyer.
It's gorgeous. Other than it's got my picture on it.
Go. Maybe Dwayne will put it up on your website so they can come see you.
And that's November 16th?
November 16th, yes.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You have an amazing career here that I'm seeing here. I just want to ask you real quick about being a Russian nuclear weapons inspector.
That was I did it when I was in. So when I went in the Army in '92, they taught me Russian, and just kind of one thing led to another. I ended up doing that when I was in uniform and did it for a while after I got out. I'd go to Russia, look at their nuclear weapons, take them around when they came to look at ours. It was no big deal.
Then you went out to lunch.
Then we did a few shots. Had some borscht. Did our thing. So it was a different world for sure.
So what are you up to now? Tell us a little about what do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, the main thing I want to say is, that show in DC is going to be awesome. Just in general, doing the comedy thing. Like you mentioned, I'm an instructor at with a nonprofit down here called Armed Services Arts Partnership, an awesome nonprofit that I work for. We're actually doing our graduation show this Wednesday night at the DC Improv. So all our new students will get to go on stage at the DC Improv for the first time.
Is that opened up to the public?
He does what you do, but with armed forces.
Oh wow! Oh, so you're teaching comedy to them?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Look at
yeah.
you. That's fantastic.
So they come in and we take them through the class, and yeah, this week is their grad sets. So it's exciting. It's an exciting week. They're very nervous, but it's going to be a blast. It's always fun. They always turn a corner around week 5 or 6 and just pull it out and do great. I can't wait to see them on stage. So yeah, that's coming up. Heading out to LA, probably be in LA by the time this airs, I guess. It'll be after Halloween. So yeah, it's a busy time, but it's a good time. It's good. I was just up in New York last week, so I'm doing the thing, man.
What's getting to you now? What's going on? What do you talk about? I know they ask me. They'll ask my wife, what does he talk about in his act? But what do you want to share with us? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, I talk about my life. I talk about the military time for sure. Going to Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction and not finding them. That was the whole thing. That was a little fun deal. Yeah, we tried. I looked everywhere. It was not there.
I looked everywhere.
I did. It was crazy. But I talk about being a dad. I mean, my oldest is now 22. My daughter just turned 18. So I talk about that. That's a strange time. I'm learning things that, like teenage girls are the meanest thing on the planet. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know that you got a couple daughters, as we learned from The Mentalist.
And you're also the dumbest person on the planet, right?
Oh, for sure. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. I have no experience. They know more at 16 than I've learned in my, almost half a century on this planet. So yes, absolutely. They don't tell so much more.
I don't know. I have a son and a daughter. My son is the nasty one.
Oh, really?
All the answers. Yeah. My daughter's just she'll call me from college upstate wanting to know if it's okay if she spent $5 on if she went to Wendy's.
I've gotten that one a lot. Hey, I just want to let you know I accidentally spent this on your card, so I'm going to Venmo you $32.15. I'm like, it's fine. I don't care.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, but
but the son was nasty at first when he came home because he went to school, went all the way down to Mississippi. And went to school, and he came back the first semester. It was COVID, and man, he knew everything after one semester. So I was like, I was the dumb one, but it is what it is.
Look at how little you had to teach.
What's that?
Look at how little you had to teach them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do it all.
Yeah, for sure. It was good. I just paid the people in Mississippi to do it for me. It was great.
And listen, pretty soon you're going to start Venmo requesting them because you're going to want that money because that gets tiring after a while.
Yeah, it's you got to send it to him. Like, hey, take my Venmo down. I'm just amazed she knew my Venmo. I'm just and plus, like, I think it just makes me a cool dad that I have Venmo. It's most guys my age don't know how to do it, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I Venmo requested my daughter and she declined it.
What? Jeez, no. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Dwayne.
Huh?
You say your name is Dwayne.
Dwayne. You say Dwayne. Yeah, and I know that confused a lot of the viewers because you said you were bringing on Dwayne White, and then the whitest dude on the planet shows up. I get it.
I understand. What?
So I know you're.
When they meet you in person, they're like, "Wow, you're a lot more whiter in person."
It's great. It's so fun.
It's a great name. It's good for comedy too.
It's actually my middle name. I have a whole thing about my real first name is actually Shannon. Which is not a good name for a guy. Shannon White. I get invited to be in Miss Teen USA as a kid. Got some packages for my 13th birthday from Playtex. It's a whole thing. It's Shannon Sharp was not in the NFL when I started. When I was a kid, it wasn't that cool. So that's
rough. That's a little rough. That's a little
awesome. So. Where else can we see you? Do you want to share with it? Like, do you have any other dates coming up? So we want you to go to the DC show, of course.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the one that that's the benefit, and I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I mean, all my shows are on my website, DwayneWhiteComedy.com. You can check out my socials. I'm at White Dwayne Comedy on the Instagram and all that. Beautiful. But yeah, got a bunch of stuff coming up. Going to be at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone soon in November. doing a lot of veteran stuff. Got a lot of veteran.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Show coming up in the area. This is a busy time for comics that have that veteran thing attached to their name.
Agreed.
Good time.
It's a great thing for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dwayne, I think that's our show, and you were fantastic, and you're so funny.
Thank
and I hope
you.
everybody goes to see you wherever you are, and make sure you follow him. And
Please do, yeah.
I'm hoping to be at that Washington show. I'm working on LaRocchia.
Oh,
nice.
All right. Well, have fun, guys. Thanks to everybody who came on tonight's show. Dwayne White.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Kara Foster, Michael Gutenplan. And we are out of here. Thank you.
Thank
We're
you.
going to the
Thank
diner.
you. Yeah.
I lost my voice. Take care.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.